Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Maccabee, and as you know, there are five characteristics of what is known as effective and ineffective speaking. I'm not only going to list them, but I'm also going to give examples. The first characteristic of effective speaking is called sincerity. It's always important to be sincere about your subject, even if you don't understand it fully. You want to draw your audience in, and it could be about solar system. It could be about daily life. You just gotta know exactly what the subject is. That comes to our next characteristic: knowledge of the subject. This is important as many people can lose track of what their topic is. They can get disorganized. They can lose track of where they left off. They stop to give examples or to give out pictures showing exactly what the past or present event has caused. And then there's organization. It's important to not only make sure you're organized when it comes to finishing this speech, but to make sure that you have everything set in front of you to where you know where it is, and you know exactly what level you need to be on when it comes to the speech that you're trying to produce. Last but certainly not least is your ability to listen. It's important to not only pay attention to your audience, but to listen to their responses and questions as your speech comes to an end. Uh, well, I had this teacher named Mr. Farling. This is a good example. It's not many have a professor or teacher that's a good role model to them. He not only made his speeches short, he didn't drone on, but he also gave us examples, showed us what all we could do later on as we learned from him. Continue on. Here are the five characteristics of ineffective speaking. I'm going to pop. So, the first characteristic is lack of preparation. While effective speaking is important to be prepared, ineffective speakers have trouble with preparation. Sometimes sometimes people have a hard time getting organized for the night. Some wait until the last minute, and I know some of us do this. Some of us wait until the last minute to prepare for the speech, and we don't always have our information straight. That's what makes it ineffective. Then you have, instead of looking and speaking and looking into the camera or eyes of the audience, you're looking down at your flashcards. You don't want to do that. You want to have your eyes on the camera at all times. You want to make sure that you draw your audience in as they listen to you. Also, and I know I'm not the only one that's had this experience. Apologizing. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time. As you do, as you do your speech, as you speak more, it gets easier because you're gaining that confidence as people draw their attention to you. Poor delivery. You're going to want to make a good impression. That's not always the case. Sometimes people deliver their next speech in the worst way. But that's okay because nobody's perfect. And as you practice more, you'll move on from ineffective to effective. Also, the last part, the most important, is you're not practicing. If you're unsure about something, it's always good to practice in front of a mirror or in front of your family. And that concludes my answers for chapter 1. Now, last week we did a pretest to discover if we have certain fears about speaking in public. To be honest, my score was a 26. Not exactly as high as it used to be, but it was still pretty high. It's one thing to speak over the webcam. It's another to speak out in public in front of a lot of people. And I think while taking oral communication, I know I can do it. As I practice, it'll get easier on me, and I look forward to becoming a better person through this. Thanks for listening.